Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video I wanted to talk about how I plan out my Christmas and my Christmas planner. And this is something I've been doing for a while now. I started in this particular spiral notebook and I looked at it just a few minutes ago and I was like, oh wow, 2009. So this year is 2018, so I've been doing it for almost 10 years. And it really works for me. And basically what I started out was I wanted to kind of keep up with what I did from year to year and also create a checklist and Christmas gifts, you know, what I purchased, and actually this has been really helpful because it's something that I have been able to reference. Now that the kids are a lot older, it's different versus when they were little, because you didn't want to particularly, you know, I guess I went back and forth on gifts and things like that, and you could kind of reference what you purchased last year. But basically this was just a way for me to keep up with what I needed to do, cookies that I wanted to make, and it really was helpful to be able to look back. So this is, you can kind of see how I started. It just kind of 2012 it started getting a little bit more decorative, I guess you could say. And so, but again, it was so helpful because I basically carried this around. I will carry this around in my purse or bag or pouch or something like that until you know, the end of the season. And then this is the one that I'm currently in. I probably have another 2 years left, I would think. So basically, sorry, the election's going on and it's got me distracted. My phone just beeped at me, so that's why I had to I looked over and I was like, now what's going on? But anyway, so as the years went on, they've got a little bit more decorative. Last year I started doing the trim on the pages, and I really like that because that way you can kind of tell in the upcoming years. Even though I tag my pages like this for the year, I know that when I look at it like this, I can say, oh, the blue is for this current year. So let me go ahead and jump forward. I guess let me show you, let me just show you 2017. So that's kind of how I decorated last year. And again, my to-do list. And so I kind of just took these, my December daily stories and my junk journal stories. You know, sometimes I do a tip-in like this for my, for a shopping list or for a to-do list, grocery list. But anyway, so what I did this year to kind of change it up a little bit and get a little bit more organized for upcoming years is I created this is this current year. I actually created a sticker page. And so and it has all my, basically for me, my holiday season starts in November because usually I'm doing art shows and things like that. So I usually like to track every weekend what's going on. This is a way that I make sure that you know, I find out what weekend, so you can plan accordingly to put the tree up and decorate and those kind of things. But so that's kind of when I start carrying this around, is the beginning of November. But basically I just created these stickers with different things. That way from year to year I can just go in and print the stickers out and cut them, and that way I have them ready to go. So I went ahead and started doing my checklist. I used the kit, the die cuts and the theme are from the Nutcracker Sweet kit that I just put out. It is sold out, but these particular die cuts did come from Bo Bunny, and I am absolutely in love with them. They are so cute. So the little houses, and we just recently went and saw the movie, the Nutcracker of the Four Realms, and these little houses fit perfectly in with the beginning of that movie. So I just thought I was like all excited. But anyway, so Christmas traditions, I haven't quite filled that out. You know, as it gets older, the kids get older, I can now see the change. My son's been at college now for 2 years, and last year he was so sick on Christmas Day, and so it just seems like now new traditions, keeping up with the old traditions, but now it seems like we're having to, some of them are changing, I guess, and that's kind of different. But basically I kind of, so going back to this first page, these are my weekends, so that way I can tell which weekends I want to plan on decorating the tree, and then what we have going on. And so this way I can kind of plan out, and especially because me and my daughter want to go see the Nutcracker, and so I definitely want to be able to fit that in. So this kind of gives me an idea of what we have going on every weekend. And again, this year is a little bit different than what we've done in the past, so, but the weekends are still filling up. And then I kind of do a to-do list, which are like my Christmas cards, white elephant gifts, those kind of things, Advent, and just things that I do every year. And then also I can always add to this list. The next page is dates to remember, and this is just basically, these are the dates I pulled actually from my planner, and these are things that we have going on. So I want to have those in mind, so when I am trying to plan out other events and things to do, that I remember what we have going on as well. And this is during the week, not necessarily just on the weekends. Christmas traditions, cookies. I always typically make the same cookies. Last year, I don't think I did a cookie trays. I might do it this year. It just depends. I plan on doing them, but I want to make a list, and I always try a new cookie as well. Christmas cards, I usually put, as I fill them out, I make a list of everybody I send to. Last year, unfortunately, I didn't get to send out my Christmas cards. So this year, definitely gonna, I always put a note, and I'll tell you at the end of what we do, at the end of my planning. Start early, like right now, what is it, like beginning of November, I should already buy my cards and start filling them out and things like that. So that's always on the biggest challenge. My December daily, which is where I come in and I document every day. And I know that sometimes I can't get around to actually creating the page or journaling, so I like to come in here and document it as well. And that way, if I miss a weekend or I miss a day or two, I already have it written down here, so I remember. And a lot of times, sometimes it's developing the pictures, or if there's pictures involved, it's going and getting the pictures developed, and then able to, oh yeah, this is what this is for. So, because a lot of times I'm waiting for the pictures. So that's my December daily. And then dinners, the three main dinners that we typically think about, at least with the immediate family, not the whole broad family, just us here, is Thanksgiving. I do Thanksgiving with my mom too, but that way it just kind of gives an idea of what I'm planning on bringing, and then I always like to make a dinner here as well. And then Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Christmas Eve has always been a challenge, so if you guys, what do y'all do for Christmas Eve? I would love to hear what kind of dinner you've made. I've done extreme, I've done not enough, I've done like snacks, and then it was like, oh, we should have a meal. So, and usually by Christmas Eve, to be perfectly honest, I'm exhausted. So I've done like this huge thing where I made this big thing, onion soup, that was kind of a flop. So I would love to hear any ideas that you guys have for Christmas Eve. I've been open for that for the past, I don't know, 15 years. So that would be good. Christmas Day. And then the grocery list. So once I figure out my meals, I'm going to come in here and create a grocery list. So that way I already have my hand. I am not a going to the grocery store kind of person, because it just stresses me out. And just because we live in a smaller area, and actually so many people from the rural areas come into this one H-E-B, that's our local grocery store. And it is always so crazy and stressful. So what I'm going to start doing is, and I've already started doing that, was like picking up the sugars and the flours and things like that, so that way I already start having them on hand. But I definitely put in a grocery list, and then I can start checking them off, like, oh, we need stuff to make the stuffing, and not the fruits and vegetables and things like that, but also just to be able to keep those in the pantry on hand, and I'm not doing this big gigantic shopping when everybody else is too. So that's always worked for me. Advent is, I started this, and I always laugh because And a friend of mine always laughs because you started this, but I always love the idea of Advent, you know, the countdown to Christmas, a little bitty something every morning. Well, it is hilarious because especially when the kids were little, they would, first of all, the first day was always the biggest stressful because who's going to open the first little box? I have these little boxes and oh my gosh, tears, crying, fighting. I'm like, this is supposed to be enjoyable, but my kids look forward to it. Even my son that's in college was saying, oh mom, you know, I'm going to have my presents and I'll take them back to college with me or something. So I've kind of started a list for him as well. But I pick up little trinkets. I go to the dollar store, those kind of things. I mean, it's nothing extravagant, but it's just a little something to get them excited. What my mom used to do is buy us a coloring book and a new box of crayons at the beginning of December. And so I still can remember coloring, you know, by the Christmas tree with the Christmas lights. So that was always a memory that I cherished. And so not that I wish I could go back because it's been fun doing the Advent, but let's just say there's definitely some interesting stories about the Advent. So the next page I have is the wish list. And you know, as the kids get a little bit older, it's not as, oh, I want the new doll, or I want the new Lego set, or I want, you know, the different toys, and I want this, I want that. So I would listen to what they would say, like in the car, and I would have my little planner with me, and I would jot it down. Or even my husband, I would jot it down as they tell me, oh, I would like that, or you know, just in conversation pieces or anything like that. They did always put together a list, but it was just nice for me to kind of have a wish list and an idea of what, you know, so when I do go out Christmas shopping, I'm not just blindly walking in and being overwhelmed by not knowing what I'm looking for. So that was always helpful to get a wish list. And then over here was the actual Christmas list. This is what I would buy. And I'm even Steven across the board, so I was always very careful about if I bought, you know, so many for this, my son, I bought so many for my daughter, and all that kind of stuff. So that was my way of keeping up with that. This has always been so helpful, and that's always been something is my go-to, is right here in my little planner. The next page I have is basically the Christmas list, gift list. So this is just kind of like friends, co-workers, family members, neighbors, those kind of things. Especially, like, I definitely want to get my mailman or a little something, you know, either make them fresh cookies or something like that, because they're so good to me, and picking up all those packages that I send out to you guys that purchase the kit. So I definitely want to get them a gift, you know, a little something to just show my appreciation. And then snail mail, there's I have Crystal out there on IG. Me and her have been exchanging gifts for, I think, 3 years now. This is going to be our 3rd year, so I love that. That's kind of fun. And then I'm also going to be doing a snail mail exchange. So I definitely like to add that on my list, or anybody else that I can add on here as I start thinking about it. It's kind of like a thinking process and having a place to jot things down. My crafts, what I have found out that for me to do Christmas crafts, it usually have to be early in the season. So when Hobby Lobby comes out with all their stuff in July and everybody's freaking out going, I can't believe their Christmas stuff is out. I get it, because you have to start doing your crafts early if you're a creator and a crafter and things like me that are so busy during the actual holiday season. If you want the new Christmas wreath, you got to make it back in September or something. But I have a mind for a Christmas wreath, and typically I do try to make me a new one, but so that is one that I want to do. I also picked up these little acorns today, which I'm trying to think of something I can do with them as well. So that is also part of my thought process. Now, I added junk journaling in here because I'm doing a series on junk journaling, and so I'm probably going to add this stuff in here. And then I'm also trying to come up with different ideas of what I want to do with my journal. And I don't have it. Oh yeah, I do have it here. Let me show you in case you haven't been watching. So this is my Christmas junk journal. I've been using a a golden book, the Nutcracker, and so this is just kind of different things that I've been working on. And again, this is going to be my December daily, so it will have all my December stories in here as well. But I kind of wanted to have a spot here that I can write out things that that I want to add or, you know, come up with. I just wanted to have a place for that as well. Now this is what I had talked about coming back to, is next year's ideas. A lot of times, especially like with Christmas lights and those kind of things, let me see if I put anything in for last year. This has always been, and this was one of the main reasons I started this as well, is because I couldn't remember from year to year, oh, did I need lights, or did I need wrapping paper, or, you know, okay, so my idea, my one little idea was make gifts from photos. So I need to sit down and think about that. So I'm not sure, I don't know if I was talking about like coffee mugs or things like that. But anyway, so that's this one. I see a little bit more of a list over here. Oh, I need multicolor lights. Oh, Brazos needed a new tree. Do y'all like this one? Start early. Don't listen to is too early. I have a friend on IG and she cracks me up because she's already put her tree up. And she said, I do what I want. And it's so true. It's like, what do you want for Christmas? Why do we have to go by these rules? And it's not that here in the States, you know, we celebrate Thanksgiving. It's not that we're not looking at Thanksgiving and being thankful. I thought, well, I'll keep my turkey platter up, but then put some poinsettias around it, you know. But it's just a way of, because you want to enjoy the season. And if you're like me, I have so many things that I want to look at in the twinkling. And then when Christmas is over, it's like everybody's like, okay, let's wrap it up. Let's put it away, put the boxes away. And you're like, oh my gosh, it went so fast. So do what you want. Right, Stephanie, if she's listening to this, do what you want. If you want to put your tree up, put your tree up. If not, don't put it up. Wait, it's up to you, but it's not too early. Whatever's in your heart, go with that. So yeah, and then the final little tidbit in here is I added this cute little wand. I'm going to be doing I did a video on this last year, but I have some cute new ideas, so I'm going to be doing another video on little wands. But I put this envelope back here, and actually I should have made another sticker that says receipts on it, because I want to keep all the receipts. So if I buy the shirt, or if I buy the electronic, or if I buy something that isn't going to work or doesn't work when you get it, you have the excuse me, you have the receipt right here, and that way you can easily keep up with that. Now, one thing that I think I should have added, since I've been trying to keep a better budget, is, and typically I kind of well, I'm not one to budget for years, but I try to keep up with how much to spend. I don't want to overspend, and I think that would be a great additive to my journal, is maybe a budget type, you know, where you talk about how much money that you're wanting to spend, vice versa, or, you know, those kind of things. So, but to be perfectly honest, I'm really kind of bad about budgeting at Christmas. So, but it's always always have something in mind, but then, you know, get towards the end, it gets a little crazy. So anyway, I just added this cute little, flannel clip in here. And then the next thing I was going to show you real quick is kind of what I carry with me on the go. So I'll have this with me, I'll have this with me, and usually I might put this in another pouch as well, but right now what I'm going to put in here is I kind of carry an assortment of pens. I picked out some colorful ones that kind of go with, you know, Christmas, the greens and the reds, and I always carry a highlighter too, because highlighters are good to have to kind of, especially when you do things on your to-do list, or, you know, if you're going to check mark, you can also have a highlighter. So I carry those with me. I carry a glue stick. I carry glue stick with me all the time anyway, but I like to put that in there. I have just some random washi that, especially if you want to like clip in a like one of those to-do list type deal, I have that in there. So I'll just kind of carry some washi with me. And then I have my little post-it notes. And these are always kind of handy to have. I have Post-it notes throughout my planner, my regular planner that I do on a daily basis. So I always like to have some Post-its on hand. So that kind of sums it up. And this is something that, like I said, I'll carry through the month of November and December to really keep myself organized. And it has worked for, as you can tell, 10 years. So I recommend it. If you don't do your spiral, I would do like put it in your planner or your traveler's notebook or some. That would be a great idea. You could add it as a TN insert in your traveler's notebook and keep up with it that way. But this is really helps me keep my sanity during the season, and also it's kind of fun to just have a place that your little to-do list. That I know that a lot of people that have this kind of stuff, we live and breathe organization. So to me, having this, I have a kind of a handle on things. So anyway, I hope you're inspired, and thanks for watching, and I will see you on my next video.